Hey, this is Maria. Let me remind you today. I want to remind you today about 7 steps how to find your potential, how to live your potential and how to find your calling. I think we are all looking for this. Most of us always have, because it's an inner urge to find it. It's very natural that we are seekers. And I see it, each of us, each soul came here with its very unique toolbox of potential. So you have your own potential toolbox, and these tools inside of this box, and like the size of them, and the time, at which time in your life they actually come in there or they show up, and these tools, the way they unfold and the pace and everything. All these circumstances, they just create, these amazing, unique toolbox. And really, it all comes together in the end, and you have this unique toolbox. It's really unique. There's nobody out there, no one has your potentials or your collection, your unique collection of potential. No one. You're the only one. We'll talk about that later a little bit more. I'm wishing you for this episode to take your time and feel where do you resonate, where don't you resonate, and what feels true for you and what does not. Okay, start with number 1. The first one is make peace with your parents. Why is this important at all? It is such important, darling, because you have chosen your parents before you even got here. You have chosen your parents before you even got here. And your mom and your father, your mother and your father, you haven't choose them just randomly. You choose the 2 of them because in both of their lifelines are certain potentials, maybe even hidden, that you need to live your full potential. And to really use them, you need to make peace with your parents. So, if it's your mother or your father or both, and as soon as you close your eyes and you see your mother's face and you feel anger, or you feel sadness, or you feel desperate, whatever it is, if that's the case, there's surely something to look at. It's the same with your father, obviously. If you deny this, if you are like, nah, Maria, I've been there, I went to therapy for 7 years, I'm so not going back to that, I'm done with this, it's fair enough. But if you still have hate or anger or any negative feelings towards your parents, you will not ever find your full potential because you haven't forgiven yet. And because if you don't forgive your parents, if you don't seek to make peace with your parents, you always reject yourself because you reject them. You abandon them or certain characteristics of them, certain behaviors of your parents. You just can't make peace with them. You wish they would behave different. You wish they are different. As long as this story is going on, you are denying yourself. And you haven't made peace with yourself. You are your parents, mate. They are both of them are in the first line of your ancestor line. You're created by them. They led the path. Everything they have done, each step, everything they've done each day in the life of your father and your mother, each day they have lived has an impact on you. It sounds a bit heavy. It's not. It's really physics. It's a law of energy. It's nothing to think about now. I'm just saying every choice they have made had an impact on you, and now you are here today and you can make your own choices. You can own it. And that's what you gotta do. Make peace with your parents, own it. And own it doesn't mean, yeah, he has been an asshole, I don't need him in my life, I'm done with my father. Goodbye forever. No. You don't need to be in contact with your father or your mother or I don't know what not. And it's fine. The peace path is when you feel love towards them, even though they are not in your life, or one of them died, or even though one of them had abused you. I'm not saying that's easy. I'm not saying you deserved it. I'm not saying you've chosen. But honestly, your soul has chosen your parents. So, behind all this is a huge, tremendous gift. Going the path, forgiving your parents, might be the biggest advice I can share with you today. If that's a tough one on you. I'm just sharing what comes through here. Okay, second step is to look at your fears. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? If you think about your calling, if you think about living your full potential, are you scared of being successful? Are you scared of disappointing others? Are you scared of, do you feel shame? Do you feel insecurity? Are you scared people may call you dumb, or that you're not intelligent enough to do what you actually want to do? If this has been an old story for you, like since years you stick in your patterns, especially towards your job and your career, always the same patterns, there might be an interesting fear thing behind that. What are you really scared of? And fear is just another shadow inside of us where we didn't spot the light on yet. Your fears, they just want to be seen, you know? And then from there you can go further, forward. Okay, let me go to the next step. Step number 3 is, I'm inviting you with this one to take care of your inner child and to care for it with love. To be loving towards your inner child, towards this little girl inside of you, this little boy inside of you, who felt pain, especially in the first 7 years of his life, because mommy and daddy weren't always doing it right, weren't they? Even though you love them so much, they weren't always right. They didn't do everything perfect. They couldn't, because they're humans, because we're here to make this kind of experiences. They just couldn't, but they did their best. And why is this important? Why is this important? Because your whole field, you have a field, yeah, holds all informations, all of them from your past. Your thoughts, your feelings, your situations you had to experience. Also as a baby, or when you are 3 or 6 years old. And we made, as kids, all of us, each of us made certain choices. For example, okay, I felt pain here when I was 4, when nobody took care of me, so I'm gonna be on my own now. I'm gonna handle this on my own. These are this kind of choices we make as kids, unconsciously. It's what we do to survive. Or another one is, okay, so daddy doesn't give me any attention at all. He just sees me when I'm really angry and when I'm making stupid shit. Okay, then I'm just gonna keep up doing that. I'm gonna stick in my extreme patterns, always doing extreme things that nobody else does. I'm totally the black sheep in my family. This is the way I get attention. When did you get most attention from your father? Through which behavior, or your mother? This is where you want to look at. This is the kind of work you want to do, to take a big look into this potential box and to really take it, to own it. This is a path to go. Do you get why? It has to do with self-love and the worth, to acknowledge your worth. Because when this inner child, this little boy inside of you, this little girl inside of you still thinks she's not worth it, to be here, to be seen, to show up, to live her potential, to be happy, do you really think that pattern is going to change? Do you really think that? Forget it. That's why I'm here today, to remind you, darling. Let me go to the next step. What's your potential? You want to take a look at your box and you want to open it and you want to see what's hidden in there. Please take a look back into your childhood. What did you like to play with? Which were your most favorite subjects at school? What were you really good at? What felt most natural? What still feels very natural to you? Are you just an amazing poet? You write the most beautiful poems. Are you just an amazing cook? An amazing leader? You're so good to organize like amazing playdates for your friends. You're always the head and the organizer, and you have everything under control and you are in charge and you just love it. And you're just too scared to live this potential in your real job life. This is where you want to look at these kind of situations and moments in your life that feel very natural, that feel like it's your most natural self, really. That's the way to go. This is your potential box. It's really simple. There's nothing complicated about that. Or what do you really like talking about all the time? When you meet your friends, what do you talk about? Despite love stuff or some drama or other people. It's so interesting to talk about other people. Then I don't need to look at myself, don't need to look at my own stuff. What do you love talking about? What gives you excitement? What gives you flashes? Or is this the right word? What makes you, lights up your fire, your third chakra? Here. Or your tummy. Where do you feel you have butterflies in your tummy? What opens your heart space? Where do you feel, whee? These are the moments you want to really take a good look at to figure out your potential. Okay. Number 5. This is so important too. Because let's say now you have the toolbox there. Yeah, you see your potential box. But you don't acknowledge it. You don't. You don't respect it. You don't own it. Because there's still this lack of self-love, self-worth. So you really want to own it and say, yes, that's mine. That's mine. That's only mine. Only I have it. Nobody else has this one here. It's really unique. I'm owning it. And I'm owning it by saying, I love you. By saying to each ability, talent, whatever is in there, to say, I love you. I worked for you really hard. Or maybe not, because you've always been there. Or to say, thank you to those special people that brought me this one tool. You please do one thing for me. Acknowledge the path you have been going to get where you are today, what you have been successful at. Take a look. We forget what all the things we have achieved. Take a look what you've been achieved, what you've achieved so far. This is a very important step to really own your potential toolbox, your potential box. It's very unique. You have to own it. You have to say, yes, it's mine, I take it. Come here. What can I take out today to inspire people? What can I take out today to help someone? What can I do today to be here and show up and glow and be here with my energy, with a beautiful, unique energy? And there comes the next step, number 6. You want to share it. Once you said, I own it, I share it. There are 1,000 ways to do that. You have to figure out yours. Be patient, be gentle, go on your own pace. Share it. Could be the Instagram account, the Facebook page, your website. Could be sharing your gift with 10 good friends or just one. It could be writing a letter, making 100 copies and putting this letter into your mailbox in your whole neighborhood. Offering your services as a, I don't know, foot massage, acupuncture, I don't know the word, healer. Look, you have to figure it out. Find your own steps how to share it. Because if you really just own your box if you share it. If you just leave it here and you take a look at your tools and you keep, it's okay. You don't need to write the book. You don't need to publish everything. But honestly, that's not what I believe. It's not what I believe. If you have amazing talents and gifts, and this is when you shine your light, you're not here to be in the cave and to not share it and to not be seen. You're simply not. You are simply not. We want your light. We need it. I want to see you shine. I want to see your light. Shine your light on me. Thank you. Thank you. Feels so good. Let me see your paintings. Let me buy your cookbook. Let me book a therapy session with you. Or maybe, it's just time to write this application to the special firm you've always been thinking about to go the next step to grow. Because this firm represents for you your real potential. And it might be a very exclusive firm. You may want to send your application out tomorrow. Just go the step. Own it. Share yourself. Share your energy. It's time. The time has never been better. The final step I want to share with you is be grateful. Be grateful and humble. Be humble about your unique toolbox and potential box you've been given by God. Be humble about it. Don't take it for granted. You are unique, so are your gifts. Stay thankful and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, great technology. We live in such an amazing age right now, really. It's so easy to share information, to share energy, even with people who are not physically present right now. I love it. We take care of ourselves to not get caught up in this, to not spend all our energy in iPhones and whatnot, but we use these tools to spread the higher messages, to spread our light. That's why we are here. And I say thank you for all this, that I can do this, that I'm able to do that today. So grateful. So grateful for your light, for watching. I'm sending love and light. P.S. I recommend Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic. She's amazing if it comes down. Creative Living Beyond Fear, it's called. Big Magic, Creative Living. If it comes down to share your gifts, really fearless. Okay? So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Do the work. Much love.